everybody, this is Lisa Grunden coming to you live. And, I have a question for you. When, you get a new job, you get a new opportunity, you get a new life, a chance for a new life, now what? Have you ever moved to a brand new location where you didn't know a single soul? Maybe you moved for a job, maybe you moved just to do something, new and different, or maybe, I don't know, maybe a combination of all of the above. Many years ago, way back in 2011, I had an opportunity. My husband was living in Afghanistan at the time, and I was in Denver, Colorado, and then I moved to Wisconsin to be near family for a little while, and I absolutely knew without a doubt that I would be making my way to the Middle East, and maybe the two of us could find a job in Abu Dhabi or Dubai or something like that. And so one day I found myself on the flight from Dulles to Dubai that takes off every single day. I found out it takes off every single day. And this was not my first time to Dubai. This was my second time to Dubai. And so I was all excited, and, it's a long flight. And I got there, and since I was there all by myself, I could only have a female taxi cab driver because I was a female passenger. And she did not know how to find her way around, and I wasn't staying at one of the big hotels. I was staying at a smaller hotel apartment because I was going to be there for an unknown period of time. And so I got there as all by myself, and I get there, and we finally find the hotel after about an hour of driving around the nighttime in Dubai. And I check in, and I'm just exhausted, and I get there, and I kind of sat on my bed, and I'm like, wow, now what? I'm in Dubai. It's very late at night. However, everything is still open because there were electric signs blinking everywhere around. Thankfully, the curtains were blackout curtains, so I could shut the light out there. And I was so exhausted, I managed to fall asleep. And then when I woke up the next day, it's like, okay, I'm in a foreign country, and I'm not exactly a tourist, but I'll be a tourist for a little while. And I've just never been a tourist on my own before. And it was a little scary. And it was really exciting in a way also because I thought it was really cool that the Tour de France was on. It was the time of the Tour de France, and I was watching it in French. Not that I speak French. I just kind of thought that was kind of like a cosmopolitan thing. It was really cool. And it was just a day or so later that the loneliness, the isolation set in. And it's like, okay, so I'm in a whole new place. I'm in a whole new world. A lot of people speak English, but a lot of people don't. In that first hotel apartment that I stayed in, the TV was not in English. I mentioned to you the Tour de France was in French. The only two languages that came across were French and Arabic that came across on the TV that was at that hotel at that time. And so what are some skills that you have developed that have helped you out when you're in a new place, when you're in a brand new place and you don't know anybody, or maybe you know one person, but you don't know a lot of people, and maybe you have a job and maybe you don't, because there were a whole series of things that were eye-opening for this chick from Colorado and from Wisconsin when she was in the Middle East all by herself. Thankfully, after a couple of months, my hubby came and joined me for a few days. And then one day, as if by magic, I went for a job, and I decided that I wasn't going to just do coaching over there, that I needed to have a job because I wanted to meet people. I wanted to have some friends. I wanted to have people to hang with. I wanted to have someone that was close. I have many friends throughout the world, but I don't have any friends right now in Raleigh, where I have just moved just a short while ago. And it's really important to have those friends that you have that you can see. That you can have lunch with, that you can have a meal with, that you can go listen to music with, that you can dance with, that you can just talk with, that you can hang out with, that, whatever it is. And so in Dubai, my time there, I wasn't able to successfully meet those individuals because I didn't really know that I was staying there all on my own. I thought my hubby and I would be relocating to Abu Dhabi. And so it really doesn't matter if you think that you're staying there or not, because I've lived out of suitcases for 7 years. for 7 years, since 2010. I lived out of suitcases, and sometimes I had a villa to stay in. Sometimes I was renting a place for a month or whatever it is, and it's just so important to find yourself in the community there. When you're overseas, Facebook is the way to meet lots and lots and lots of people in your community. And they have a Facebook for, nearly every gosh darn thing that you can think of. I later realized there was a huge expat community that I could have tapped into in Dubai had I chosen. And later when I moved to Doha, I did tap in to that community because I knew the importance of friends. Having someone to talk with, not just someone to talk with over miles and miles, over Skype or Zoom or in any way in which you can communicate. Having roots there. Because part of being successful when relocating to a new place is getting yourself out there. So here in the States, Meetup and Facebook, they're both really good ways of doing this. Because I have to tell you, I have been meeting myself here as I have moved again. And, moving is fun, it's exhilarating, and sometimes it can be a little tiring. I'm not quite sure how many times in my life I have started over in a brand new place. And I guess it's not really starting over so much as the next page, the next chapter in the book, in the journey. And sometimes even for me, it can be a little tiring to put myself out there. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to check on Meetup to see what kind of groups are out there for entrepreneurs, for coaches, for artists, for writers, all for hikers, for dog lovers, for all of the different kinds of things that I am interested in, because there are many kinds of groups of people out there. And if the first group isn't the one that you kind of mesh with or gel with, then you know what? There's another group. Don't give up. Don't give in. And never quit. Because the next leg of the journey, the next leg of the life, it's fun. So maybe sometimes we run straight out of the gate to win the race, and maybe sometimes we're like the turtle and it takes us a little longer. Remember, in the race of the turtle and the hare, or the tortoise and the hare, the tortoise did win overall. So anyway, wherever tonight finds you, I hope that you are well. I hope that you have a 3 a.m. friend, someone that you can call if you need to at 3 o'clock in the morning. I do have some of them. They're not located anywhere near around me. However, I do have some really cool 3 a.m. friends, and those friends are priceless. So wherever you are tonight, you take care of your most precious self, and wherever this spot in the journey sees you, shows you, rock it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. You have a very good evening. Bye-bye.